Alright, good people of the internet. Just a quick check-in. I am getting ready to transplant all three of the sunflowers that were in the cups. All three of them, I probably should have transplanted them on Friday or Saturday, and now it is Sunday afternoon in the heat of the day, which seems like a perfect time to do this. They're all a little bit dried out. Yeah, definitely. They definitely need to be watered. But anyways, I'm gonna get these in here in the, I guess in the bed. I need to get the actual measurements, but it's basically a 3x3 raised bed, 3x3, and I think it's like maybe 16 inches deep. But I'm gonna plant these three sunflowers in here, and I guess just kind of see where it goes. I was planning originally just to put a cover crop on this and then put garlic in it in the fall. But we're going to add some of these beds as well. I need to build at least 4 more of them. So that'll be a kind of a project that'll be coming up. But I'm going to have to do some soil for that and everything else. Anyways, so for these ones, these are the cup and the cup. Little holes cut out in the bottom. For as hard of a life as these have lived, I want to try to give them the best possible chance at kind of seeing things through. So I'm going to take this, I'll pop it out of here, and then I'll get it, or I'll mist it with a little bit of water. This has some recharge mixed into it. And then I'll sprinkle this mycose, which is a mycorrhizal inoculum, which is basically mycorrhizal fungi, which, as I understand it, the simple version is that they kind of help the roots of the plant plug into the network that is within the soil, and it's able to more efficiently kind of transfer the nutrients and whatever energy it's taking out of the soil. It's probably not the most accurate or the best way to explain it. It sounds a little woo-woo, but anyways, I will get this a little bit damp. And with this, I kind of like trying to shake down the soil and fill in that gap and get the air out, and then I'll press down to kind of set it. I am no expert, so we shall see. Hopefully that airplane noise is not super loud. We live near an airport and it's Sunday, so a lot of people up in their planes. As I understand it, the mycorrhizal fungi has to come in contact with the roots themselves. So it's not something you can just like water in. I guess you could build it into the soil. I guess ProMix has their mix that has basically peat, perlite, and mycorrhizal fungi, so you can put it in that way. But I think the directions on the package were to add it directly to the roots. We'll get this third one planted. These little soil / root balls are pretty dry, so I am going to, once we get these set, I'm gonna water them in, and then I'll tap them down a little bit. I'm not gonna soak them. If you go down a couple inches in this soil or this bed, there's a good bit of moisture in here, so as the roots start to stretch out, I'm not too worried about that. It's just that in these living beds, I'm kind of struggling, or I have been struggling, to keep the top layer moist. I think that just, I need to get some more mulch on here, some more green mulch. For next season, I hope to have all the watering automated. I'm playing around obviously with the buckets, and that's been really helpful, but I'd like to get something in these beds, whether that's a drip line or blue mots, or however you say that. Because as I get these beds built out for kind of an eye into next year, I'd like to do a good bit of garlic again. I've got the garlic from this season currently curing in the garage. But that's something I'd like to do again. And then I'd also like to kind of focus some on doing flowers. Kind of doing some arrangements in the beds. And then just like tomatoes and cucumbers and buckets, the things that we generally use, and then pumpkins. But I don't need to grow a whole ton of crazy things. I think if there's one other thing that I will take on for next year is some kind of pepper, like a jalapeno, and maybe something similar, cayenne or... I need to start picking some different stuff up at the farmer's market and trying to make things with different peppers, and kind of see if there's anything that really stands out. I think that's enough for now. I'll check it tomorrow. I should probably just get the whole bed at least a little bit. This top layer is really dry, so I'm not too worried about putting all this down here. It has I guess just an all-purpose organic mix in it, so trying to do somewhat of a living soil bed or living soil beds. Slowly moving into using mulch layers and want to try some cover cropping. Alright, I think that's okay for now. Alright, and this is the tomato. We have all three of them, but I honestly don't need to have 3 tomatoes going at this point. So I'm going to put this one into kind of my soil collection, and then once it takes, I'll put some worm castings on top, and again, this will get some sort of mulch layer. It'll probably just be shredded cardboard, as that seems to be kind of the thing I'm trying out right now. But anyways, let's get this in the soil. I had sprayed this down earlier. To try to get some moisture in. I don't want to overdo it. Alright. Give a little bit of sitting up on the deck, I don't know if these have been getting enough light. I think that might be part of their issue too. They've been kind of tucked away in the corner. But they should be in an environment that gives them a pretty good opportunity to get rip roar going. Give this a quick water in. This one will dry out pretty quick, so I'm going to need to get on this pretty fast. I have some bases for these fabric pots where they can, I guess, bottom wick water. So I'll get that set up in probably the next 2 weeks. This isn't big enough yet where it's going to pull any water like that, so I'll just top water it. But as the roots expand and kind of get closer to the outsides of this pot, they'll be able to wick water up from the bottom. So that will help me kind of stay on top of it, but I'll need to get a mulch layer on to keep the top from drying out. All right, that should be good for now. Alright, I've got the tomato over here with the sunflower buckets, and perfect timing for the cucumber to take a dive over. Anyways, the sunflowers are over here in the buckets, and they definitely got a little bit dried out today, and I don't think they've gotten enough sunlight, so I gave that top layer some water and got them over here in the full garden, so I'm hopeful that that will get things kind of ironed out. But anyways, that's where we're at here on Sunday, and we'll check in later in the week as things progress. So see y'all later. Peace.